Hello, this is Ian. As you've seen, I've changed the name of my channel to Ian's POV. Ian's Point of View. Now, this is video Ian's POV, Point of View, take 4. I forgot to put my mic on. I pushed it back, thinking I was going to edit the video. And then the next one, I forgot to put the mic back. Oh, I've been quite a disaster this morning. But never mind. Here we go. I've decided to change the name of the channel. I got people having a go at me. The woke world, as it is, I don't think they like me. I've been called homophobic, transphobic, any phobic they could name me. A phobia is a fear of something. I don't fear anybody. I have not got a fear, so I have not got a phobia. Oh, Islamophobia, that's the other one. Because I disagree with something doesn't mean it's a phobia. Therefore, it's the wrong word to use. But the woke world want to label everybody. And if you don't agree with them, you're transphobic, homophobic, any phobic they can name you, thinking they will win an argument. So what I've decided, this is my view of the world. Now, I stand to be corrected. I make mistakes. I say things wrong. At the moment, I'm supporting reform. We can't trust the Conservatives yet. The Conservatives have got too many woke MPs. Kemi, I like. I think she's a nice lady. If she was my MP, I would vote for her. But it's the people behind her. There's a very few what I would call true Conservatives. Ian Duncan Smith is a true Conservative, in my view. But there's a lot of woke Conservatives. They used to call them wets, didn't they, during Maggie Thatcher's time? Leftist Tories. Now, John Bercow was a prime example of left-wing Tory. He was Speaker, he left the Tory party and joined Labour. That proves my point. Now, I'm locally here. The Conservatives lost last time handsomely. But Labour won. We've had income here. They've built new houses in North Somerset. And Portishead, Nelsey, Western Super's got their own MP. But they've just built houses. The population's grown by about 30% in 20 years. I don't know the exact figure, but that's just looking at the houses. The village here that I'm in has grown by 50%. Or the way they're going to build new houses is going to be 100% since the 80s. So it's doubled in size. We've got about 20,000 people here. In the 80s, we had about 10,000. We're going to be heading for 30,000 people in this village. And it is only a village. Because there's more people, they've decided to charge for the car parks. And of course, the car parks are always half empty now. So there's no problem getting a parking space. But you've got to pay for it. And people don't want to pay for it. So they're parking all around the streets, around the village, around the town centre. Now they're up in arms trying to get rid of the parking charges because the businesses can't make money because the people aren't going to the precinct. 2 shops have already closed because of the parking charges. People like to go, park, go to shop, get what they want, and go. There was a 2-hour time limit, and they had a guy who used to walk around, take all the phone number, license plate number. Then he would go around again. If you'd gone over time, then you'd get fined. When you go into a car park, you have a plaque, and that tells you the contract. And when you go in, you agree to that contract. I fought to stop car parking charges all my life. When I was on the council for 8 years, in the late 70s, early 80s, I fought to stop the car parks. Charges, I should say. But this woke world we live in, it comes back and they do it. The people that own it just want to make money. You know, we want to allow people to go and shop, and then the shops pay their council taxes. Now the shops ain't there because they can't get the people in. The council ain't going to get the council tax, are they? The business rates. You know, it ain't rocket science. So, this channel is going to talk about my point of view, how I see the world. I'm not always right. I can be wrong. But after 69 years, this is what I believe is true. Starmer is going to feature highly. As much personality as a slug. He gave a press conference at number 10, explaining the war, explaining we didn't take part in it, and that we're going to defend our people. Well, he's not defending our people, is he? But he said it all. And my wife says, that looks like AI. I said, no, it's not. That's him. That's really him. She said, that's terrible. So we watched a couple of videos afterwards. One was definitely AI explaining things. And that was definitely AI. There was one about Harry and Meghan, and there was one about the Labour government and what it's doing and not having the ships available. And they were all AI. Andrew Neil, who was the reporter, television presenter, has an AI character. I don't know if it's him reading it or if it's computer generated, but it's AI. And that came up as well. And then we went back to Starmer. And Pat said, are you sure that isn't AI? And I went, I don't know. But it does look like it. Starmer actually reading. Got no personality, and he looks like AI. How bad can it get? Our warships are up on exercise in Greenland to try and stop America taking over. America have always got a base on Greenland anyway. Now they're saying, oh, it's to stop the Russians. So we've got warships up in Iceland. We've got 2 warships here. The Duncan and the Dragon. Both of them are in, I don't know, refits, makeovers, and they ain't ready. And Duncan ain't going to be ready, and Dragon is going to be ready early next week. That's what they tell us. It could be the end of the week. Then it's going to take 4 or 5 days to get down to Cyprus. This war could be all over by then. Is that what Starmer's relying on? Not to get our warship involved in a war? Now, the Express newspaper had a video of Cyprus and the RAF planes taking off from Cyprus. Now, they reported that they didn't know if the planes were on an exercise. They were told it was just anti-drone. They didn't know if it was an exercise or if they were anti-drone, trying to stop the drones and the missiles before they get to Cyprus. We have not been told. We do not know. I suspect that on the QT, the RRAF are being used to shoot down the drones. And rightly so. But Starmer should come out and be honest. But the problem is, he wants the Muslim vote for May. Wow, we got a problem, because the Muslims are now voting Green. The Green Party deputy leader is, I would say, a Muslim extremist. Just let that sink in. So I can see a theory, a projection theory, that the Greens will pick up a few more MPs in the next election. Labour will lose 100, 200 seats, maybe. Reform will win the majority of seats and entitled to be the government. However, because the Greens have picked up seats and Labour's there, I can see Labour and Greens having a coalition and becoming the major party. I can see it happening. So we still end up with Labour. Now, we've seen what Labour's been like over the last 2 years. And they're not very good, are they? Let's face it. They're fighting amongst themselves rather than running the country. We've got Angela Rayner, was the Deputy Prime Minister. She had to resign because she didn't pay the £40 tax on a house. But she still hadn't paid the £40 tax. But she was voted in as Deputy Labour Party leader, not Deputy Prime Minister that she was. That creates conflict. You've got Starmer and Lammy as Deputy Prime Minister. You have Claire Rayner as Deputy Labour leader. So they're fighting amongst themselves. And then you've got West Streeting. Wesley Streeting, his name is really. In the wings. Who's friends with Mandelson. You've got Ed Miliband, Mad Ed Miliband, who's woke as it comes and wants to put solar panels and wind turbines all over the country. Is he being controlled by China? Because all of it that he wants is all Chinese. We know Mandelson had businesses in China. Has Ed Miliband got interests in China? And is that what's controlling Starmer? Is he got two factions controlling him? The Muslim vote on one hand and Chinese interests on the other. I pose the question. Don't know the answer. And I'd like to know where all his freebies come from. 150,000 in a year. I expect he's still getting freebies and that number's going up. Anyway, this is Ian's point of view. This is what I think. And I will say what I think under Article 9 of the Bill of Rights. Anyway, this is Ian's. POV. Bye bye for now.